I've been caught so far off guard, I didn't realise we were starting. But here we are. Good evening everyone and welcome to Gavra Racing Clio Cup Round 8, the rescheduled round from last week, of course, if you do remember, back here in Laguna, Seca, this beautiful American track set in America, obviously. I'm James Head 14, I will be your solo commentator once again this week, and I'm very excited to see what is going to be happening out on track. Free practice session is underway, 15 minutes of free practice, of course, going into tonight's race, and pretty much the standings that I mentioned last week have not changed. Of course, the race was not run last week due to connection issues, but we are live, and hopefully, at the first time of asking, we will have some action out on track, as we already do, as I'm on board with Randalux, and as I go on board with the wrong thing on the Gavra website, trying to get the standings up here. So, coming into tonight, Bessar is on top on 174 points. Steve Boldham on 135. The championship can be won tonight. Both of these guys Bessar is here, which is good to see. I think he's got 5 minutes of running time in practice because he's got an LLP1 next to his name. Yeah, limited practice duration of 5 minutes for Bessar. So he's on top on 174 points. Steve Bourdon again doesn't look like he's in attendance tonight, so 135 points for him. Led the Iron in third on 125 points, with Randalux on 124. They're separated second and fourth, 11 points. Massive gap down to Duke Martin in 5th on 80 points, King Quinn in 6th on 79, Mateo in 7th on 73, Pure Drive in 8th on 67, Two-Stroke Germany in 9th on 65, and Lek on 54 in 10th, GJDM on 41, Time with Manic, Percy in 13th on 35, Jukebox Hero on 33, Big Smokes Cheese on 24, Motormouth on 23, and Gaming VR on 10 points. And I will go through the team standings very shortly, as we see Randalux on a lap here, coming towards the corkscrew, the trickiest corner possibly anywhere in the world, I would imagine. The corkscrew, left and right, it is quite deceiving. I have seen a car go off there in real life before. I think it was a Lamborghini that went off there in one of the American series. I think it was one of the GT3 races around here, and the woman driver that was involved came out with only cuts and bruises. I went front flipping into the wall at corkscrew, on the exit of corkscrew. So not great stuff there. I don't think we'll be seen to that extent tonight. 36.8 from Randalux starting us up. There's quite a few out on track right in front of him, who obviously have came out of the pits in front of him. Poor Simon Bogle's flying there. Coming on to the team standings, Italian Clio Racing on 247 points to lead the way, from BM Racing on 203. Again, championship can be won tonight, I do believe, for the constructors. Then Germany Racing in third on 190, CRCP Racing on 158, G-Duke Racing on 121 in 5th, Mist Racing in 6th on 102, WDE Motorsport on 88, and Vane Racing on 74. They are the order as it stands. Randalux is 3, there's Bessar, there is Percy out on track, just coming through turn 6. I'm going to get a track map up though in the meantime, so I can get you some corner names for this track. I'm not great with corner names. The only section I know up here is the corkscrew. I think it's probably one of the most famous sections, as I say, within the world of motorsport. So, here at Laguna Seca, give you a little bit of facts about the track. There are 11 turns on Laguna Seca. This was redone out, I think, in the 90s, the layout done out, so we have technically got 12 turns, but as the Americans like to put it, there's 11 turns, because corkscrew is split into 3 sections. The little kink is turn 7, don't know how that's a turn. The left going into the corkscrew is turn 8, and then 8A is the exit of the corkscrew. So just to confirm that. There are actually 12 turns on this track, not 11. And 3.6 kilometres in length, or 2.2 miles in old money. And the track actually is an FIA Grade 2 track. FIA determining Grade 1 circuits, so you've got the likes of Baku, Bahrain, Paul Ricard, Zandvoort from Hockenheim, all sorts of tracks as Grade 1, and Grade 2, of course, Laguna Seca. Circuit de la Sarthe is on there as a number 2, Long Beach as well, Red Bull Ring. So those tending to be in FIA Grade 1, Grade 2 normally are top of the pile in terms of getting to host the big events. I just thought I'd mention there. Pronounce Beam. Beam Racing. Beam Racing. BM. I have to pronounce that I. I'm sorry, I have to pronounce that I. It's just a force of habit for me. It really is a force of habit. But thank you to everyone that is tuning in so far. Of course, we are nearly halfway through free practice. 5 minutes of qualifying waiting here, of course, afterwards. And I am going to be putting out the link, so hopefully we can get a few more people into the stream to comment on the stream. There we go. But halfway through free practice, 7.5 minutes complete, 7.5 minutes remaining. K-Morse is top. K-Morse? What's he doing in here? What is K-Morse doing in here? This is a throwback from the century. K-Morse is in the Clio Cup. Oh my god. Absolutely fantastic to see K-Morse in here. Of course, Gavra Academy Driver of All. That's how I know him. Gavra Academy Driver of All completed 2 seasons in Academy before getting his licence. So good to see him in the Clio Cup. I'm not sure what on earth has taken the downgrade from GT4s, which are also live with Inverted Poison, and somebody else is live as well, but Inverted Poison's up there, my American friend, commentary wise. But K-Morse is here. K-Morse with a 36.4. I was thinking to myself, I know that guy from somewhere, but I don't know where. Throwback from the past for K-Morse. Fantastic to see him in here. Think he might be replacing somebody in Mist Racing. Let me have a look who he's replacing. I can give you a bit more detail about him. So I think he's replacing Steve Boldham, if I am... he must be... Oh, he's actually replacing Pure Drive. He's actually replacing Pure Drive, looking at the confirmed list. So, K-Morse is in here. Fantastic to see him in the Clio Cup. With 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Vanderlook second, he's 7 tons up though, coming into the corkscrew through turn 8, now 8A, and then through turn 9. There are 11 turns on this track, just to confirm. There's technically 12, but the Americans like to call it 11 for some reason, I don't know why. But Vanderlook's through, turn 10, oh, going for a right slide, attacking that a little bit too much, doesn't want to be throttling on the power too much through that. He's got his teammate ahead of him. Bessar is now out on track. That is not Bessar out on track, that's not his teammate. King Quinn is his teammate. I should know this by now. We're 8 weeks in and I should know this. Vanderlook scores top by more than a second improvement now. 35.7 is his current best. K-Morse now second, King Quinn in third. There is King Quinn. I think he's just preparing for a lap ahead of him. Led the Iron is in fourth tonight. I don't think he was here last week, so good to see him back if that was the case in the rescheduled race, of course. Duke Martin in 5th, currently in the pits. Percy in 6th. He'd be very glad to have K-Morse as his teammate. K-Morse, I think, probably one of the favourites to win tonight, if I'm going to be honest. Percy in 6th. GDTM, that is not what you want to be coming on board with. Going for a full 360 into the barrier there, GDTM, so obviously lost it. Took a bit too much power going on the exit of the corkscrew, going left in through turn 9. Gaming VR, is he improving here? Let's find out. He does. He jumps up to 5th with a 37.7. It's a nice lap there by the Brit. Relatively new to the championship. Jukebox Hero improving by 1.2 seconds into the corkscrew. Doesn't look very confident though going into the corkscrew. You can attack that with a little bit more power, so if he is watching the stream, Just trying to attack that with a little bit more power and feel more confident in the car. Obviously, I think he's probably just wanting to stay out of harm's way and then put his best foot forward in qualifying. So that's what I think he might do there. Bessar is out on track. He is running up onto the straight, which I have lost my track map, which is unfortunate. Bear with for 2 seconds. There we go. He's on the Rahal straight. Run up into the corkscrew. And there is Gavra, of course, in pits. I think we have lost somebody from this session. I'm not sure who it is. But Randall looks on top of the 35.7 at this stage. Came also in second, already with a bit of damage on his car, so obviously he's been for a spin somewhere. 36.3, King Quinn in third. And King Quinn was preparing for a lap ahead of Randallux, but obviously I think he just came out of pits again. Gaming VR, Duke Martin. Let's see how Duke Martin gets on. Coming through turn 6, the left-hander onto the Rahal straight, attacks that at about 80 miles an hour. You can attack that, try and go a bit deeper into the corner and attack the speed. I have tried to take that flat out in these cars. Doesn't really work. So anybody wanting to try a flat out through turn 6, no, don't. Be on the safe side. There was a corner in the way there. Duke Martin just taking avoidant action. Let's see what he's like. Oh, he's actually came through the middle sector actually. I thought the middle sector was here, but it's not. I think it's different at GT6 I used to play on back in the day. 2.5 minutes left. I'm going to check on board with the comment section then, see what you guys are interacting with us here tonight at Gavra Racing. Of course, if you do want to get in touch, Gavra Racing, if you do want to get in touch with me in the comment section, you can ask me anything at all. And I will just point out that I might be doing a bit of cross-party advertisement at the end of this stream, so hopefully people don't mind about that, just to attract more sign-ups for the F1 2019 league that I'm running. And the Clio Cup has actually got more viewers than Gavra GT4 at this stage. Fantastic. Gavra GT4, pretty much similar attendances as well. Javier Ranz is in there. I think he must be dominating that championship, I would imagine. But as we're caught on board with Bessar, who is approaching the final corner. I'm not sure if he's on a lap. I think he might be here actually. Bessar, lap time invalidated, plenty of track limit invalidations there. Of course, I think a full 15-minute qualifying session, free practice session would have been handy to get used to the track. However, Bessar taking my line, the deeper line there, down through turn 1. Now into turn 2, the Andretti hairpin going through turn 2. That is a full just one turn. That is just counting as a hairpin. Quite deceiving with the two apexes there, to be honest. But through turn 3, right-hander. Then on to turn 4. End of the first sector is approaching soon for Bessar. Let's see how he gets on. Current championship favourite and runs across the gravel. That might be an invalidation there. We'll have to see. Keep on board with him though in the meantime. And during qualifying, I will try and get on board with as many drivers as possible. Good to see a good attendance here. More above average attendance, I think, for Clio Cup in the last couple of weeks, which is good to see. Bessar really attacking that through turn 6, taking my sort of line through there, to be honest. Through the Rahal straight, up the Rahal straight, uphill now into the corkscrew. Trickiest corner on the circuit. Does he match it nicely? Yes, he does. Brilliant exit through there. About 65 miles an hour on the exit of the corner. Now runs downhill further. You can take this flat out, but I wouldn't, although he's managed to keep it on the track nicely within the track limit. Plenty of people stopping off their laps. Randallux, K-Morse not improving with a 36.3. His practice has now been completed. Bessar through the final corner. Let's see what he's going to do. Coming towards the line. King Quinn has invalidated his lap time as well with track limits. Bessar across the line. Goes. Doesn't improve. He must have invalidated when he ran wide at turn 3. It is a difficult corner to get used to at the best of times. Randallux is just approaching the end of his lap. We've got somebody ahead of him. Let the Iron has already finished his lap. Randallux, however, though, with about 50 seconds left, about to come across the line. 35.7 is his current best. Is he going to improve? Yes, he does. That is a big improvement. About 4.5 tenths there for Randallux. A 35.2. Nice stuff there from Randallux. think we have got everyone pretty much off a lap. GDDM just finishing off his lap. Not sure where he went in the free practice session. His car just goes through the screen. Didn't improve, a 140 flat for GDDM. But Randalux on top. K-Morse, a returning driver in my book. In second, King Quinn third, Let the Iron, Gaming VR, Duke Martin, Percy, GTTM, Jukebox Hero, and Bessar, current championship leader, failing to set a lap, of course, with that limited running time. He's got to get used to it because there's only 5 minutes to qualifying here as well. The first cars will be coming out on track very shortly. I will get the speedo and the map up so I know where I am out on track. King Quinn about to come out. Are we going to get anybody ahead of him out on track? I think we probably will here, to be honest. Yes, we have. We've got Bessar, current championship leader. Remember, on 174 points at this stage. His limited practice time in free practice not really suiting him down to a T, but 4.5 minutes to go already. These guys have got to get a move on. They'll have to set at least 2 laps to try and be very competitive here. Bessar, with the absence of Steve Bowden, who I do believe is still on holiday. I'm pretty sure we said last week he was in the Dominican Republic. I could be completely wrong there. So really, this is handing Bessar the championship on a plate tonight. He can win the championship mathematically. He's already 49 points ahead of Let the Iron in third. He has got to win. Let the Iron has got to finish second. And it still won't be enough with 2 rounds to go, of course, after this. And they are at Willow Springs and Sonoma short. And the calendar has been updated as well on the Gavra website as well. And it's great to see such efficiency from the team at Gavra Racing for doing this. Randalux fans say Beam for Paul. I'll get that right eventually. Beam, BM... same thing, different pronunciation, I think. But plenty of BM fans in the comment section, which is good to see. Of course, if you do want to get in touch, have a look. Bessar, ooh, there's a bit of tactical, there's a bit of what I like to call tactical ploy. Let's just say, I think that was King Quinn just about to go on for a lap. It's not King Quinn, it's Randalux better go on a lap. Bessar has done a bit of a favour there, I think. So Randalux first out on track, Bessar second, and is that K-Morse in third? Yeah, it is. So they're third out on track. So the big 3, I think, tonight are really going to be the ones to watch early on. Randalux already nearly halfway through this qualifying session. It just flies through. Turn 3 for Randalux. Now running through turn 4 onto the straight. Looking nice. Nice exit, about 87 mile an hour there on exit through the first sector. Not sure about the sector split. Hopefully we can get that up for you in due course. Randalux now through turn 5. Now on the run up the hill. Quite a big elevation change here. I think it's about 100 metres, the elevation change here around Laguna Seca. Coming through, Randalux onto the Rahal straight now through turn 6. Really attacked that. About 94 mile an hour on exit of the corner. Now running up through the little kink at turn 7. Now into turn 8 and turn 8 in. This is the corkscrew. This is the trickiest corner out on track, but he attacks it really powerfully. Attacks it in third gear. Might have just lost a little bit of time there. But Randalux on a lap. 89 mile an hour. Wide in. Wide entry. Deep into the corner. And Randalux looking very quick here. Slides it through turn 10. Now only 1 corner to go. It's flat from here on in until they get up the hill. Rise into turn 1. Randalux comes down the final corner. He's got Bessar catching him on a lap. I think Bessar is quicker than him. Watch out for K-Morse as well. Randalux goes quickest for now. Just have a look at Bessar's time. Goes quicker by 3/10. K-Morse across the line 4/10 away. So that really is creme de la creme so far. Have we got anybody else out on track? Try and stick on board. I'll go on board with Gaming VR, who is on a lap. Let the Iron's gone 4th with a 36.3, King Quinn 5th with a 36.8, GTDM with a 37.4 at this stage. So really, you might be seeing 2 battles here out on track. 1 minute to go. Gaming VR comes across the line with 39.8. Not putting it up there at the minute. Duke Martin comes across the line. He goes 7th. Just 800ths off GTDM there, so not bad lap. Jukebox Hero around the final corner. Hopefully he can attack this a little bit more on his laps. He's looking very hesitant, I've got to say, tonight. Really lost his groove from earlier on in the season, if I've got to say, and there you go, prove it there, 42.1 for him. Percy is on a lap, must have invalidated his last lap unless he was late out the pits, but we'll go back on board with the leaders, the leading protagonists, Randalux, Bessar, K-Morse. I think Bessar thinks he's done enough here. In fact, Bessar is ahead of Randalux out on track, so he must have made a mistake here, Randalux. And Bessar's on a lap ahead. K-Morse is just behind. Yeah, K-Morse is just behind. Just checking that for a minute. We approach the end of qualifying. Already at the end of qualifying. Bessar ran the final corner. We are going to be seeing 2 laps completed by most of the drivers out on track. Bessar, is he improving? 34.9 to beat. Comes across the line. No improvement. K-Morse into the pits, doesn't improve. Randalux not improving either. Very short fuel lap there, actually. Let the iron through the final corner. He's currently sitting in 4th. Can he improve? 36.3. Coming across the line. Kingquin has gone 4th. Let the iron improves ahead of him by about 300th of a second. 36.1 for 36.2 of Kingquin. Jukebox Hero looks like he is one of the only ones to come across the line. Gaming VR across the line. Improves his time, 38.2, but doesn't improve his position there. Percy is not completing a competitive lap either, so not really getting right away for Percy, but hopefully everyone is going to be scoring points. We're only waiting on Jukebox Hero, who is through the final corner now, and qualifying will be complete as we go into a 19-lap race here at Laguna Seca. Get your popcorn at the ready, get your cup of tea, and tune in for Gavra Racing Clio Cup. That would have worked better if it was GT3s, but there we go. Bessar with a 34.9. So it was key to get first out on track for him. Randalux second, K-Morse in third, Let the Iron, Kingquin, GTDM, Duke Martin, Gaming VR, Jukebox Hero, Percy the top 10, and of course Gavra hosting the lobby. And seemingly all connections absolutely fine at this stage. Bessar with a 34.9. Randalux and K-Morse will be close in behind. Watch out for that Brit in third, because he can really put a performance together in the race, and if I've seen him in racing in the past in Gavra Academy, in what was, I think he has driven the Clio Cups before and won in the race in the Academy 2 seasons back, so watch out for him in this race. But I'm not being biased towards him at all. Put down your predictions though in the comments. Top 3 predictions and a driver to watch ideally would be fantastic. Gavra has jumped into the pits, I think, at the back. Oh no, he's still on track. Gavra is on track. Hopefully he will tie. He's still on 11th anyways. Actually does want to get a piece of the action here. Who knows? My top 3, however, though, I think we're going to go for a similar top 3 compared to what you're seeing at the minute. I think Randalux is going to win and just put a little bit of pressure on Bessar. Bessar for second and K-Morse for third. One to watch for me, probably Kingquin from 5th. Kingquin from 5th. Watch out for him, because Let the On and Kingquin were very close together in qualifying, only 300ths of a second separating both of them, so just watch out for them as we wait for the race to begin. 19 laps, of course, here around Laguna Seca. You should be expecting lap time similar to what you saw in qualifying. 35.2 was the fastest lap set by Randalux in free practice. Couldn't manage that in... Oh yeah, it was a... Was it 35.2? I've completely forgotten already. But Bessar starting on pole anyways. Randalux and K-Morse second and third at this stage. Let the On and Kingquin 4th and 5th. So that is your top 5 rundown, really. We just prepare for lights out, and we're just sinking into the race, and we are about to get going. 3 red light sequence will come on. The revving engines are on. Round 8 of the Gavra Clio Cup Championship. Light sequence is on. And it is lights out, and away we go. Brilliant start by Bessar off the line. Randalux and K-Morse get buckled down off the start. Kingquin and Let the Iron come across each other in behind. Relatively clean start though in behind, and Bessar will lead. K-Morse has got the inside line down into turn 1, going through now into the Andretti hairpin at turn 2. Bessar has stolen the march as polystyrene boards go flying there. I think that was GJDM just slightly outbraking himself into the back of Kingquin and Let the Iron, who came very close together to making contact. Randalux has got back past K-Morse Let the Iron trying to get up the inside as well, but Bessart is away, and I would say that's about a second lead early on for Bessart. Vanderlux in second, K-Morse in third, Let the Iron in fourth. Let the Iron in fourth, King Quinn in fifth at this stage. The interval times come in, and as I say, around a second for Bessart out in front. Vanderlux second, K-Morse in third, Let the Iron in fourth. The file, single file, coming through turn 5, and on the run up the hill onto the Royal Straight through turn 6. Bessart really putting the power down early on. 1.3 seconds, 1.4 seconds needed the gap. Vanderlux is second. He's got to do well to keep K-Morse in behind him. Let the Iron and King Quinn looking quite close. Nobody's going to look for a move surely into the corkscrew here. Just see this mid-pack battle. Let the Iron, King Quinn and GTDM is Let the Iron just slightly outdoes himself at the corkscrew. And Let the Iron and GTDM have a little bit of contact there, just coming across, leaning into each other there. Let the Iron keeps the position. And GTDM just affected by that. Gaming VR and Duke Martin are on the back. Percy and Jukebox Hero are at the back of the field as we approach the end of lap 1. It is Bessart, Vanderlux and K-Morse your top 3. Onto lap 2 we go. Bessart, 42 flat last time out. That is of course from a standing start. If it was a rolling start, you would be expecting very quicker lap times compared with Bessart. A second clear. Vanderlux just running wide into turn 1 and 2 at the Andretti hairpin. K-Morse in third, keeping him close company. King Quinn, Let the Iron. GTDM has lost positions. Gaming VR and Duke Martin as well. 7th and 8th, they're looking quite close here for a battle. Let's go on board with these. Gaming VR and Duke Martin. Gaming VR hanging on for about a 4 or 5/10 gap at the minute to Duke Martin. But Duke Martin, I think, has got more pace over Gaming VR in the long term, and that was proven there. Slightly going right, both of them. And Gaming VR has lost a little bit of time to Duke Martin as gap to the lead. Slipstream must be on because Bessart is now being approached in behind. He must have made a slight mistake and he runs wide through turn 6 onto the Royal Straight, running uphill now into the corkscrew. Trickiest corner on the World Circuit, and Bessart lets through Vanderlux, which is very interesting indeed. Bessart, I think he knows the mathematical situation at this stage, and he's in second. It's going to do enough for him to win the championship at this stage. Vanderlux leading. K-Morse is surely not going to try and round the outside. Bessart giving up positions early on. I would be going for the race win and trying to prove that the championship is going to be yours. Earn the championship victory, that's what I would say. Bessart looking very slow actually coming through. Is he going to bring a battle back to King Quinn and Let the Iron, I wonder? So come across the line to start lap 3. Vanderlux leads by 7/10 of a second. K-Morse in second. Bessart in third at this stage, losing 2 positions. Quite weirdly, as we see K-Morse really attacking the car through the Andretti hairpin at turn 2. Really attacking. He has gained time there as well, getting about a 10th or so. GTDM just running wide in the background. Gaming VR, by the way, has already picked up some sort of penalty. Sadly, the race feed doesn't show that, but he has got a penalty. That's why you can see the red next to his name on the number 7 there. But Vanderlux leading 36.2 last time around. He was around a 10th and a half, 10th and 3/4 quicker than K-Morse last time around, who really is attacking this. K-Morse really attacking him now within 3.5 tenths. They've run up the hill now onto the Royal Straight at turn 6. Running uphill again. Vanderlux just gaining a little bit of time. K-Morse just looked a little bit slower than normal. Bessart in third, only a second off. Got a good battle developing for fourth. King Quinn and Let the Iron are looking quite close. GTDM, and then there's a gap to Gaming VR, Duke Martin, Percy and Jukebox Hero. 13.5 seconds off the lead at this stage. K-Morse though, really looking to try and gain on Vanderlux. Vanderlux leading at this stage, 36.2. A little bit of lag kicking in there for Bessart. Hopefully that is not the sign of things to come for him. And hopefully the championship can be sealed tonight. But Bessart really starting to lag. Not sure if that has been picked up on driver's end. So just be careful if you do approach Bessart, if you do get embroiled in a bit of a battle with him. So just be careful on that front. Vanderlux, 35.6 last time around. K-Morse in the slipstream, breaking very late into the Andretti hairpin at turn 2. Bessart 1.3 seconds off. He will gain slightly, but K-Morse right on the back of the leader. And it seems to me that the top 3 dominating at this stage, Vanderlux, K-Morse, Bessart, your current top 3 as it stands. Let's have a look at the comment section, see what you guys are saying at this stage. But Randalux looks like he's got all the answers at the minute to K-Morse out in front, Bessar in third at this stage. Fanta Balls and Cadwell joining in the comment section, and hopefully they're supporting some of the drivers out on track. I'll just read their comments. Now, Randalux can put the pedal to the metal in that cookie jar. Probably one of the best comments I think we've seen all season. GT3s tomorrow, and it's working. I hope it does work tomorrow for GT3s. As we see the cones flying out, the iron is disconnected from the session. I think he was running in a solid P4 or P5. He was up there with King Quinn and GGDM. I was just coming on board with the comment section there, but thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, Randalux leading 0.8 of a second. That gap has extended out. I think we saw K-Morse making a little bit of a mistake going sideways on the exit of the corkscrew. Bessar in third. These three really are going to be those to fight it out at this stage. Randalux 0.8 of a second, so just watch out for that gap. Bessar taking a much deeper line there compared to K-Morse through turn 1. Now into turn 2 at the Andretti hairpin. Randalux runs slightly wide. K-Morse takes a similar line, but will go deep into the corner and try and nick the apex nicely there. And Bessar losing time because of his wide out entry. But the top three really dominating. 36.6 last time around for Randalux. 39.1 for K-Morse last time around. So obviously he must have made some sort of mistake. Maybe the pressure of him being back under a James Head commentary is getting to him slightly, as Bessar sizes up an opportunity in behind. And K-Morse, not quite, these guys are pulling away by, it's 5.2 seconds between Randalux and King Quinn at the moment, first to fourth. Not really much happening on further down the field. GDDM running solo in fifth, Gaming VR, Duke Martin at this stage 6th and 7th. But Randalux at the minute has all the answers to K-Morse, but watch out for the Brit in behind because he will close in on Randalux ahead. Bessar, by the way, led the iron, was essentially his closest challenger. With that disconnect, Bessar is now, I think, pretty much on for this race win. Unless Randalux outscores him here, which is a possibility, and Bessar is dropping off the front two. So it's just starting to develop up into a bit of a two-way battle here at this stage. Randalux and K-Morse currently leading the way. We'll see the last stop times coming across to start lap 6. Randalux with 36.5, K-Morse quicker that time, 36.1, and Bessar losing time, 37.5. King Quinn with 38 flat coming across the line. Gaming VR and Duke Martin are looking quite close down in 6th and 7th. Gaming VR, might remind you that he has got a penalty, 1 second's worth of penalty, I do believe, for Gaming VR at this stage. That is probably for excessive use of track limits. But at this stage, the Clio Cup really hotting up. Randalux and K-Morse, the current top two at this stage. And hopefully we are going to be seeing... Are we going to be seeing a move? K-Morse getting very tight. Randalux just slips out the back end there going through turn 5. That's what I like to see on the Clios. Kicking out the back end. K-Morse just warning him he's there, the Brit. Right on the back of Randalux. They go through turn 6, now onto the Rahal straight. And K-Morse's speed really took a bit of effect there because Randalux has gained a little bit of time and has pulled an extra 3/10 clear compared to K-Morse in behind him. K-Morse getting all out of shape on the entrance into the corkscrew. Going to lose more time there, I think. Randalux 8 ahead from K-Morse at this stage. Bessar in third, 2 seconds off. And K-Morse, in fact, a little bit of a cut over turn 7. The left-hander going into the corkscrew. Turn 8, I should say, going to the corkscrew. He has picked up now a penalty as well, and Bessar suddenly right all over the back of him. Randalux with a bit more breathing room though at the end of lap 6, now onto lap 7. Randalux leading 1.4 seconds. Got that breathing room and he's pulled out the gap nicely. K-Morse in second, about a second slower last time around compared to Randalux, and K-Morse again takes a very dodgy entry into the corner, but it is to get that wide entry out of the corner and try and take it as much as possible closest to the curb. The Randalux leading at this stage, 1.3 seconds. K-Morse, Bessar, second and third. Gaming VR and Duke Martin, by the way, they're still squabbling. GDDM has lost a little bit of time as well. Gaming VR and Duke Martin are catching this. really essentially the closest battle on track at this stage. Randallux leading 1.2 seconds. Came also Bessar. We're on board at the minute as Duke Martin comes onto the back of Gaming VR. Are we going to see an overtake here from Duke Martin? Right on the back of him going into turn 5. Is he going to commit the car down the inside? I think Gaming VR had always had that covered. Had the inside line covered and wanted to give no room at all. But a three-wheel battle for 5th, possibly developing with GTDM just ahead as well. Percy and Jukebox Hero having their own private squabble at the back. What essentially is the wooden spoon, I call it nowadays, in racing. Last place. But it's good to see the connection has picked up tonight compared to last week, where we had 6 attempts trying to get this race on. Luckily, it looks like it's working first time, and fingers crossed and touch wood that we are going to be having this race till the end. Lap 8 now for Randallux. He leads. He's gained the time, 1.4 seconds from Kamos. Bessar in third. He's only 2.5 seconds off. He's lapping slower than the 2 guys ahead of him though. He's doing enough at this stage to win at this moment in time. I will just have a look at the championship standings and try and give you a bit of a live feed into it. So Randallux ahead of him at the minute. The current system is, I think he's going to be gaining 9 points, Randallux. At this stage, that is enough to take the battle onto the final 2 weeks. Just confirm it's a 50 points difference. Bessar 174, Randallux 124, and the Dutchman really putting it to the sword here. But K-Morse trying to spoil the party. The Brit is catching, slightly quicker through the first sector there. Now through sector 2 split coming up. He's only 1.1 seconds off at this stage, and the Brit has decided to get his act together, and he is closing in 3/10 off his personal best at this stage. So the top 3 dominating. Randallux, K-Morse, Bessar, the current top 3. My prediction pretty much is on at this stage. Randallux in top. If Bessar and K-Morse swap positions, and that's not what you want to see. That is not what you want to see. Commentator's curse, if I've ever seen one. And K-Morse has got to get that car going. He's got to join ahead of King Quinn, who is coming through into turn 10 now. And K-Morse just rejoins track ahead. He just rejoins track ahead. K-Morse in third at this stage. King Quinn in fourth. 36.3 for K-Morse. King Quinn 38.5 last time around. I'm just going to have a mute of somebody. Randallux Bessar, 1.8 seconds at this stage. Gap is extending out nicely, and it looks like Randallux has got all the answers, as we are nearly through the halfway stage here at Laguna Seca. We are pretty much halfway through the race, in fact. Randallux leading, and Bessar in second. Hopefully we see no more mistakes from K-Morse. It was really costly, that mistake. I've seen him come back from a mistake like this before, but 10 seconds with essentially 10 laps to go, not good enough at this stage to try and take the win. But looking good at the minute. Steve Gordon, by the way, just tuning into the comment section and saying, unfortunately I'm away until Friday and couldn't race tonight, but Randallux is looking very strong. He is indeed. 1.8 seconds currently the gap. Extending that gap out through the corkscrew. Now through turn 9. Running downhill again into turn 10. 9 drivers still going around out on track. Duke Martin and Gaming VR. Duke Martin has got past Gaming VR earlier on in the race. Duke Martin is now up to 6th and was quicker that last time around compared to Gaming VR. So he must have got that done last lap around. Duke Martin is into 6th place. Now, Gaming VR, of course, with that penalty. What we think is a second penalty. We'll see that confirmation at the end. We are halfway through now. Randallux leads. Lap 10 out of 19. Bessar second. K-Morse in third at this stage. At this stage. Go K-Morse from all at the GT3s. You can do it. He's got a bit of an uphill task now if he's got to do it, but gap's just nibbling away slightly. 10.5 seconds. That gap is just starting to fluctuate down a little bit, so that is good from K-Morse's perspective. Feels like he will be able to close in. It turns slower than Bessar last time around, however, as we see Duke Martin possibly having a lock up there into turn 1. Gaming VR and Duke Martin now embroiled in a battle. And the gap for the lead. Bessar really closing in on Randallux here. Duke Martin looks like he could get the move done down the inside on Gaming VR. Not quite. Gaming VR hanging on there at this stage. Duke Martin in 7th. And by the way, if you do want to catch on board with some action after this, Gavra also hosting the GT4s. Javier Rands currently leading at this stage by 1.3 seconds. They have just started the race, I do believe. They're only on lap 3 or 4 out of, I don't know how many laps there is on that. But Javier Rands currently leading in that race. We'll just give you a bit of a live update on the GT4. See, I'm a man of two talents. Lap 11, Randalux leads, 36.5 last time around, 36.2. There we go, Bessar, 35.9. I think that's the quickest lap we've seen so far. Very close to his qualifying time, actually. Bessar, of course, that was a 34.9. So he's only a second off his qualifying time, which I think you can gather really by his pace at this stage. Looking very good indeed. As Randalux still hanging on in there. 8 tenths of a second, that gap has closed down over the last lap and a half or so. It's going to be interesting to see if Bessar can close up even further and tackle for the lead, because he looks like Bessar, man on a mission at this stage. He is a man on a mission, running up the hill through turn 6, or approaching turn 6 now, onto the Rahal straight. Then through turn 7 at the kink. 9 tenths of the gap, that is less than a second. That is DRS range in F1 at this stage. That is DRS range for sure at this stage. K-Morse not making any impact at all, 12.2 seconds. Guys ahead of him are going quicker. K-Morse was quicker than Randalux last time around, however, so just have a look at that. But at the minute, Randalux having all the answers to Bessar, but Bessar at this stage, the gap now will only be 6 points. So it'll be 44 points going into Willow Springs next week. Willow Springs, one of my most feared tracks, if I've got to be honest. Jukebox Hero has came into the pits. Not sure what happened there with him. Hopefully that was just a disconnect somewhere. As we are seeing Gaming VR and Duke Martin starting to get battling again. GTDM is just coming back to these. These guys behind are running slightly quicker. Gaming VR especially running quicker than GTDM last time around. We are on lap 12. Randalux currently having all the answers. 1.3 seconds that gap. Bessar on second. K-Morse and Gaming VR, remember, 3rd and 6th at this stage, have got penalties, so they might be added on at the end of this race. In fact, they will be added on at the end of this race, and I could essentially lose them any positions at this stage. But looking good at this stage for Randalux. Bessar second. Closing in again, running up the hill at Mazda Raceway at Laguna Seca. Now not called that, I do believe. It's now called something different, I'm pretty sure, in real life. WeatherTech Raceway, it's now called. WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, it is now called in real life. So the advertisement holdings needs a bit of change. It's not sponsored by Mazda now. WeatherTech are now the sponsors of this track, so just to point out a bit of a fun fact for any factual gurus out there that like to tune in for Laguna Seca races. But at this stage, Randalux having best of the time out in front, 1.1 seconds. Maybe Bessar's tactics early on of letting him through is coming back to haunt him. 2 tenths quicker on his personal best last time around, 35.4, and he's getting very close to that qualifying time. Remember, 34.9 was his qualifying time. So just watch out with that. I don't know why people are joining quite randomly here. Thank God he is already muted. Oh. But at this stage, Randalux leading, and Bessar on second. You're on board with Bessar at this stage. 6 tenths is the gap between Randalux and Bessar, and at this stage it's going to all heat up. Dipping one wheel into the gravel there, that's going to cost Bessar a lot of time. Running into the gravel does cost drivers a lot of time at this track. But currently at this stage, it's all looking good from the top two's perspective. K-Morse losing more time, struggling. I think after that spin he has lost confidence in the car, might be just wanting to take it a little bit easy and try and snatch that third position. Of course, K-Morse replacement for Pure Drive here tonight. I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing him next week. I really hope we are. It should be fantastic if we do. Bit of clonking of the gears there. Bessar going down to a very high first gear on exit of the corkscrew. Going through the gears through the corkscrew. It has gained him time, 8/10 of a second at this stage. We have got 6 laps to go after this one. And Randalux currently 7/10, but Bessar, taking a much deeper line there through turn 10, begins to close him down. Gaming VR and Duke Martin are still having that bit of a scuffle. It's 4/10 of a second separating 6th and 7th at the minute. We'll come on back on towards them when we get a chance to, but Randalux at this stage hanging on for grim life. 14 out of 19. If you're just tuning in, why would you be tuning in at this stage? First of all, where have you been? Randalux and Bessar, but I think you've just tuned in for the best of the action. That's Jukebox Hero just going through camera shot there. Randalux and Bessar must only be about 5-6 seconds off him at this stage. Of course, Jukebox Hero will have to let him through. Will have to let him through, so just to point out that. Randalux in 5/10 of a second. Bessar, much better exit that time around. Now coming towards turn 5 at the end of the first sector. He was down on his personal best there, but Bessar now begins to sense an opportunity on Randalux. The Dutchman looking very vulnerable here. Randalux. And the eye-tied Bessar right on the back of him. But again, just losing time running up the hill onto the Rahal Straight. And at this stage, it's between these two. Hopefully nothing happens between these two. No contact, no making mistakes, nothing of the sort. As we want to see a very competitive battle to the end of this race. Randalux currently 7/10 out in front, but Bessar taking a bit too much power there. Nearly ran into the gravel. That could have been costly. Jukebox Hero now being closed in quite severely. Bessar, man on a mission, wants to try and seal this tonight. If he wins, he'll seal the championship. I just thought I'd point that out to him. Hopefully somebody in his ear is going, get a move on. 35.7 last time around, responding to Randalux's 36 flat last time around as well. They pulled miles clear of K-Morse, by the way, who made that mistake. Bessar tries an opportunity to move down the inside of turn 2 at the Andretti hairpin, but not quite at this stage. Randalux leading. 3/10 of a second. It's all going to get very close. Jukebox Hero could have an impacting factor on this race as well, but he's not. He gets out of the way. Good sportsmanship there, shown by Jukebox Hero, but that has really gained the time for Bessar as Randalux puts it in the gravel, and Bessar's going to take the lead, is he? Bessar takes it to the lead, and Randalux makes the first mistake of the race. The first sign of the pressure getting to him, and Bessar now is into pole position, and at this stage, my theory is coming true. I think Bessar can win the championship here tonight. It's 50 points at this stage. Bessar, because of the championship points, Bessar would be 56 points ahead at this stage, but it's all still to be sorted out across the next 5 laps as Bessar, Randalux, tries it down the outside, round the outside of the corkscrew. No way has he got that move done. He's on the inside on. He's going to get the move done. Randalux, what a move that is, round the outside of the corkscrew. Onto the inside line through turn 9. That might be one of the ballsiest moves I've seen all season. That was fantastic. Bessar's trying to come back at him though, but these two have not got to over-race themselves. They've got to keep it within the limits, of course. We don't want to see any contact as we come on to the last 4 laps. It's hotting up Randalux and Bessar onto the final 4 laps of this race. 37.2 for Randalux, a 37 flat for Bessar last time around. 2.5 tenths separating down into the Andretti hairpin. Randalux runs wide. Bessar takes a deeper entry, but the wide out entry there will gain Randalux that time back, and he gains by around a tenth and a half out of turn 3. Out into turn 3, I should say. Well, it's all heating up. Randalux leading Bessar. Championship picture changing every time they look close enough for a move. Let's go on board and put some pressure from Bessar's perspective. Let the iron lead the session. He retired from the race, it seems. But Randalux leading, Bessar in second. I'll shut up for a minute as you come through turn 6. Really hearing the car volumes there, coming through turn 6, powering up to 100 mile an hour up the hill, in through turn 7, then through the corkscrew at turns 8 and 8A. A little bit of a glitch there from Bessar's perspective, hopefully that wasn't lag. But at this stage, it's Randalux who leads, 4/10 of a second, Bessar in second at this stage. Amos in third. Still with that penalty, can be added on. And King Queen could get that. But Bessar, much better exit. Now, sizing up an opportunity, dives it late on the brakes. Never quite going to make that move done. He's just over trying it a little bit. But Vanderlux and Bessar, 3 laps to go. The championship is on the line for Bessar. Vanderlux has got nothing to lose. He doesn't want to let Bessar win the championship here tonight. They take a much deeper line through turn 1. Now down the hill into turn 2. Bessar is going to be not close enough down for the inside. Again, Seca down the inside. There's going to be contact. They're leaning on into each other. Vanderlux, I don't think, was aware that Bessar was down his inside. He keeps the lead for now. Bessar just backing off. The deeper entry worked that time. Vanderlux just got a little bit too wide as Bessar really just make sure he's there. The eye tie right on the back of the Dutchman, who nearly sticks a couple of wheels into the gravel there. Bessar much better on the pace. Is he going to get the move done into turn 5? He sees it down the inside, not going to quite get that move done. Vanderlux attacks the power right out of exit. That's a mistake from Vanderlux. It's a second one, pretty much in the same area compared to what we saw last time. And Bessar now back into the lead of the race. The championship picture changes once again. Vanderlux 6/10 off. Is that the championship losing move? Or is that the championship winning move for Bessar? Really attacking the car into the corkscrew there. And gains time, 1.2 seconds. Vanderlux makes another mistake. That's game over, surely. 3 more laps to go. Bessar has just got to keep it within the white lines, I think, to win this. Bessar leading. He's done so well out in front. Vanderlux has just been prone to a couple of mistakes. Maybe his bottle's beginning to go and his bubble beginning to burst. I mean, by the way, Duke Martin has got ahead of Gaming VR down in 6th. He's right on the back of GDDM for 5th and 6th. We'll go on board with that now, as they are on the approach of the corkscrew. There is Duke Martin in behind. He has got past Gaming VR, who must have made a mistake. But GDDM now pulling away once again. So hopefully we are going to be seeing the crowning of a new champion here. Bessar, 36.8. Vanderlux, with those 2 mistakes, 39.7 last time around. Similar sort of level to what K-Morse has been doing the last couple of laps. I think championship picture, if I've got to be honest, I think it's Bessar's now to lose. Vanderlux again makes another mistake. It's just costly. He's attacking the car too much. He's making this go around like it's an F1 car. It is not. It's a Clio Cup car. And he's just got to try and maintain that composure, because you never know. Bessar could make a mistake out in front through turn 6. Runs through nicely. Vanderlux through turn 6. Nice exit. Takes a bit of a deeper line running up the hill, but loses the time. And Bessar has got this, I think, wrapped up now. You are going to be seeing the crowning of a champion. Touch wood, everything is going to happen in the final lap. Vanderlux does need to concentrate. Vanderlux definitely needs to concentrate out on track. I totally agree with what's being said there in the comments section. And Vanderlux just prone to making that mistake. He got away with the first mistake. He was right on the back. Then he made that second mistake, nailing the coffin. Then he made the mistake of the corkscrew. Even more of a nail in the coffin. Onto the final lap, and it looks really as if Bessar is going to take this on merit. I say he's been the consistent driver out on track, and I certainly wouldn't say he was the best driver, because I think Vanderlux has been the best driver out on track for the majority of this race. He had Bessar's number at this stage. But let's see what he can do through the final lap. 35.6. Again, Vanderlux prone to making a mistake on that last lap. 37.4. Gaming VR and GDDM. GDDM has lost 2 positions. And in fact, Gaming VR, I think, might have just been forced wide there by GDDM. I'm not sure. We didn't catch that. Hopefully the replay can be saved by the stewards. Well, that might just be my take on things. But Bessar, 3.5 seconds out in front. And the Clio Cup is coming his way. The Clio Cup Championship is coming his way. He thinks he knows it. Concentrate, man. Concentrate. You don't want to be losing your bottle now. Turn 9 is really the trickiest corner to get. He looks like he wants to do this. And Bessar with a 4-second advantage. As I say, he's been the consistent driver out on track, but far from the best tonight. But on merit, he is going to win this. And on 174 points at the minute, Randallux on 124. The championship is going to be his. Bessar coming across the line. He wins here in the Clio Cup around 8 at Laguna Seca and takes the championship win and crashes off in style. Great performance from him, indeed. Bessar in second. Randallux thought was going to try and crash into him there. K-Morse on his return to the Clio Cup, his first race that I've seen him in this season. First race of the season, taking pure driver's place. He's going to finish in third. Good drive from him. Prone to making a few mistakes again, and I think that's what has won Bessar the championship in the end. Kingpin across the line in fourth. Duke Martin is going to be coming across the line in fifth. Kingpin, as I say, one of the ones to watch there, so good performance from him. My prediction, sadly, for any prediction viewers, it didn't come true. Duke Martin across the line in fifth. GDDM in sixth. Gaming VR very close and behind in seventh. In fact, GDDM got past somebody's going backwards into the pits. Good to see. Percy coming across the line in eighth. Jukebox Hero has already came across the line, so Percy across the line in eighth, and that is round 8 of the championship over. Is it pointless being another 2 races of the season? Why no? Of course not, there's other championship battles to decide. Bessar then on top, Randallux in second, K-Morse running out the top 3 with a second penalty in the end, not affecting his position whatsoever there. Kingpin in fourth, Duke Martin in fifth, GDDM in sixth, Gaming VR in seventh, Percy in eighth, Jukebox Hero in ninth. May just add that Gaming VR had a 2-second time penalty, again not affecting his time at the end of the race. He was behind GDDM coming across the line. Let the Iron will get a D after his name, but he did finish in 10th place technically, and of course Gavra hosting the lobby there. So that is your taste of the Clio Cup action once again done. We've got 2 more rounds to go. We are now on to the final 2 rounds of the season, as I've just said. We are Whittle Springs next week. Same format. It's going to be 15 minutes of free practice, 5 minutes of qualifying, and then a 22 lap race, because it is a shorter track compared to Laguna Seca. So 22 laps of racing action for Whittle Springs. Can Bessar win again? Can Randallux spoil his party? We'll find out, but well done. First of all, I've got to say, to Bessar on winning this championship. Well deserved in the end. Purely consistent. Purely the best driver out on track. Not the best tonight, but very consistent and certainly the best, I would say, of this season so far. And I do believe he has won that championship with a 5th win in a row. Just sink that in. Let that sink in. 5th win in a row. And I think he might go fastest lap as well, so that's an extra point for him as well. So Bessar on top. I think we have got team standings still going. We're going to have a team battle between Italian Clio Racing and BM Racing on 247 and 203 coming into tonight. So that is going to heat up. Kingpin and Randallux scoring quite highly in the end in that race. So watch out for those. Team standings still going on. Of course, we've got a very good hotting up battle for second as well. Let the Iron, Randallux, Steve Borden, all going to be in that hopefully next week as well. But final word from me, well done to Bessar, somebody that only had limited practice running of 5 minutes, then a 5-minute qualifying session to come out and win the race. Great job, and even better so, the ITI wraps up the championship here in round 8 of the Clio Cup. We'll see you next week in Whittle Springs. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.